Alright, sorry for not getting the video out yesterday like I had said I was going to, Zippo, but my spring allergies have been kicking my butt as per usual. So getting out here today, feeling alright, not great, but yeah, so this is the 7790 that I picked up last December. A friend of mine that lives like right over that hill in the next neighborhood over has the Alice Chalmers 920 diesel version, and he went with me when we went to go look at this tractor. And the story was it would crank and it would fire, but it would not stay running. Well, I found out that someone had messed with the governor case and this wire was broken. So you can see it's hanging right there. And they had this ran in all the way, so I had no throttle response. It was stuck at idle. I backed that screw out. Still not quite in the sweet spot. I need to work on that a little bit more. But it does run and drive now, given that there's a battery in it. I do have to do motor mounts, because the governor case is pretty much resting on the fuel line that's over top the frame. And I do have some rubber mounts in the garage. I'm going to see if I can make something work, because you can't find mounts for these things at all anymore. And those that have original ones, they're either dry or they're dry and they want an arm and a leg for them. But I'd like to find some more information on the tractor. If there's a way I could figure out what year it is, that's what I'm mostly interested in. It does appear that the engine is rebuilt at one point in time, because I do recall seeing that that's like a service dealer type sticker. I haven't seen many tractors, if any, that have that Lombardini sticker in the frame. With that being said, that's pretty much the only sticker that's on the engine itself. And what's on the frame back here is partially missing due to the fact that the fender pin is all tweaked. So that's what's there. The bevel gearbox on this thing is terrible shape. I mean, I'm just moving that with my foot. It moves like it pinch back and forth, but I have a parts rear end in the back of my other truck for the bevel gearbox. So I'll be going through this thing shortly. I do want to get a deck for it and mow with it this year. That'd be my goal. So that's the 7790. I got it with no attachments. And what I want to show the rest of you all that tune into my channel, I got a new project. I bought it as a parts tractor, thinking I was going to use the engine in another tractor that I had recently picked up that you guys will see in the future. It's not here at home. And I was going to use the rear end in my Sears diesel Hydro Track, because the rear end is howling like crazy. I was going to use it on that tractor, which nothing's really changed on it. I've kind of lost motivation on it, so I pulled out the Custom 7, started doing some wiring stuff on it, found out I'm missing my pigtails for the Briggs ends. So like these round ends, I had a pair from work, don't know what to do with them. They're around here somewhere, but this garage is still an absolute mess. One thing I'm curious about is I want your guys' opinions. The original flat style steering wheel, I would replace it if I could find a better one, but I'm not looking to spend a ton of money on this tractor. Or I have a roper steering wheel. I can put a roper wheel on it. So let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of leaning towards the original flat wheel with the chunks missing out of it, just because the tractor itself is so ratty. And I mean, like, there's the hood for it. by the time it's all said and done. I mean, I'm not going to restore this tractor. But my new project was this. It's a 1980s Simplicity Sunstar 20. Yeah, it's high and low range with the locking differential. I've been doing research on these things, and from what I've seen lately is that these early ones came with locking diff and the 2-speed. Later ones, like we have a later one at work with the Kohler Command 20 horse in it, and it only has a 2-speed rear end. It does not have locking diff. Yeah, I bought this tractor for dirt cheap. Pretty much what you see here is what I got. I do have the air cleaner lid. It's down there. I threw a battery in it and added a newer fuel filter from a used tractor at work that we junked, and this section of fuel line up to the fuel pump. Put gas in the tank, squirting gas down the throat of the carb, cranking it. It fired up, it ran, and next thing you know, it's pulling gas from the tank, and I haven't even taken the carburetor off this thing. It runs that good. It does not idle too well. It needs a little bit of choke and idle, but the more that I run it, the more it'll clean itself out. If it still acts up, then I'll pull the carb off and go through it. I tried mowing a little bit yesterday with the deck, and I found out that the center blade is apparently severely bent because I scalped the crap out of the lawn. And also one of the chain lift straps, the hook that goes under the deck for the hydraulic lift, is one of those hooks is missing, so it only picks the deck up on one side, so that's not too good. But yeah, I was hoping to find out the year on this tractor too, but like I was telling you, Zippo, typical Kohler tags, they're pretty much not readable at all. You can just barely make out some words like, I guess, the specifications or something, and then Kohler right at the top. But other than that, there's nothing else that I can read off this tractor besides the tag that's down on the front. But as you were telling me, that's pretty much useless. I am looking for a couple parts for this thing. I do have access to a hood, but I'm missing the side panel that goes on this side over here, and the dash bezel is missing that top corner, but it's also busted, so I'm going to replace this dash bezel. That's if I decide to continue to fix up this tractor. So far, I genuinely like it. I used to not like Sunstars. I thought they were kind of ugly tractors. But when I was a young kid, I had a Simplicity Sunstar diecast tractor, one of the 1/16 scale tractors. And I still have that. That was my favorite gosh darn tractor as a kid because it was orange. So it was about time I actually got a Sunstar. And if I parted this thing out, the engine would go in this other tractor that you guys don't know about yet. The rear end would go into that tractor, and the power steering would go onto the 7790. And then the rest of the tractor would be parted out, which is still a possibility, because I could part out the rest of the tractor and probably double or triple my money just selling the little parts off this thing from what I paid for it, and still have the engine for my other tractor, the rear end for that tractor, and the steering for the 7790. It's kind of a toss-up, because yeah, this thing is in rough shape, but on the other hand, all it really needs for it to look a heck of a lot better is a hood and that side panel. So that's where I'm at. I guess I'll throw the hood on it and I'll see how it does. If I like it, I'll keep it together. If I don't like it, probably end up just parting it out, because I don't think that this tractor is going to be worth a whole lot of money in the resale world because of how rough or shaped cosmetically, like the fender pans are cracked. I think there's supposed to be mounts underneath here that go from out here to the frame. Well, they're gone on both sides. I only have one of the deck covers. That's what's sitting right here on the fender deck. But the fender in the back is not straight at all. I mean, both fenders are bent up pretty bad. And sadly, we did just scrap one at work a couple of months ago. They had some pretty nice fenders on it. So, had I gotten this a couple of months ago, I probably would have gotten all those fenders and definitely fixed this thing up. But yeah, like I said, it's a toss-up. The deck needs work. It needs spindle bearings pretty bad. Sounds like a modern airplane running through a gravel pit. I mean, that's what it sounds like. So, with that being said, enough rambling, and I'll just go ahead and show you guys what it did to the yard. I have never had a tractor scalp this bad. As you can see, I made it like 10 feet, and that was that. All three blades are cut in a different height. This one was a lot closer to that uncut grass, and then this was pretty darn short, and then that's, well, nothing. So yeah, it definitely has a bent blade or something. Anywho, that's the two simplicities I have, and Zippo, if you have anything to add in as far as information, please, by all means, do so, and I'll soak it up. Thank you much, and I hope you guys enjoy.